Hello and welcome to Thoragg Talks About. Today I'm going to talk about Valheim because I've been playing it so much recently. Been playing it with my friends. It just came out the 2nd of February. So it's been pretty crazy last few days, just playing it pretty much non-stop when I have time, which I don't have a ton of time usually, but I try to make sure I cut out some for it. And I even got my wife to play it with us. I got a couple other friends too, so there's 4 of us playing together. And it is an amazing time. I really enjoy it. So, if you have never tried it, I would recommend. It's in early access right now, so it's still got a lot of potential to keep on growing, which is amazing since it seems like a finished game as it is. If you don't know anything about it, it is like a survival game that has a ton of cool elements with crafting and building, which is usual for a survival game, but this game does it so well. I mean, it feels kind of like Minecraft, but in a non-blocky world where you can actually dig up the earth and you know, build earth anywhere you want. Chopping trees down. It's insane. But my friends and I have played, well, I played for about 15 hours now, so not extremely far into the game. If you look at the world map, it is so big. It's procedurally generated to a point where there's a cap on it. So there's a certain amount of things in the world that has to be there, so then it's just randomized where they are. And then, of course, the forests, the valleys, the rivers, and everything is randomized where everything is. So every playthrough you're going to have a different environment, different place where, I mean, I just said that, where everything is. So one of the coolest things is just built a raft a little while back, and we're going across the water with it. But if the wind is against you, I would recommend waiting to sail, because oh my goodness does it take excruciating amount of time. So you've been warned. But other than that, the sailing is so much fun, and we only have the raft. Like I said, we just built a bigger boat, but we haven't used it yet because we got pickaxes recently, so we were able to mine some copper and tin ore. And so, you know, you put it together, make some bronze. So we got some bronze nails, make a bigger boat. That all makes sense. Keep on progressing, getting more and more materials. So, yeah, now we have a tiny sailboat instead of just a wood raft. So hopefully that goes a bit quicker. And we tried to use the raft the other day with all 4 of us. And again, apparently we're too heavy, so it just sunk, which is very unfortunate. But now, since we have a new boat anyway, we probably weren't going to use the old raft. So not a huge issue. Yes. So it's been pretty cool though. So what else? What else has been going on? Well, we actually defeated the second boss, which the first boss was pretty underwhelming as far as difficulty. It was a lot of fun to play against it, and that's how you unlocked the ability to get pickaxes, because you get the antlers from this gigantic deer, and you're able to craft like antler pickaxe or something. So you can finally get some mining materials, but sorry, I got distracted for a moment. But yeah, you get some mining materials, and then you can actually make a bronze pickaxe after you smelt the ore down, and so on and so forth. But like I said, the first boss was pretty easy, so not a whole lot of trouble there. But the second boss was not the same. Very difficult, in fact. So with all 4 of us playing, so every person that you have playing with you, it does increase the difficulty. So it makes it where you have 4 people. I don't know if it's exact double amount as if you had just 2 people, but it was so difficult. We ended up dying, well, each of us died at least once, can't remember if somebody died twice. I don't think we actually did. I think we all died exactly once, and my wife was the only one to survive at first, and then she had me run in there to play for her, so to make sure that she would stay alive long enough for another person to get there, just in case his health regenerated or something. So I was able to get in there and survive with a bunch of other guys that had seen our fight and came over, just random creatures that wanted to kill me as well. So that was interesting. It was kind of scary as we were trading off, trying to make sure I didn't die with the trade-off. But ended up surviving that, and then a friend of mine made it back, and then I died over there. So technically I died twice, but each character died once. But it was pretty fun. So that was definitely a good time, and after we finally defeated it, it probably took us a good half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe even longer. I wasn't keeping track, to be honest with you. But it took us a large amount of time, and after we finally did that, we definitely got off, because we were wanting to get off a long time before that, but we ended up wanting to just defeat him. Well, before we even attempted the boss, because the boss was way far north, and the further you get away from your spawn point, the harder the enemies are. We knew that, but I did not realize we weren't even that crazy far away from spawn compared to like the edge of the map because of how big it is. But I did not realize how crazy the creatures there are. So there's skeletons, right, that are next to dungeons. So in the dungeons you can, there's usually like a room in front of you, a room to the left, a room to the right, and they have different corridors, maybe some extra rooms off of them. And they always have like skeletons protecting them inside and out. So you kind of know there's a dungeon nearby if you do see some skeletons. Yes. So yeah, we sorry about that. I was wondering if I should just get off right then or if I should go with free play. Well, I'm still talking, so we'll see if I run out of things to say. So yeah, we decided to check out these skeletons because I don't know, I hadn't seen these kind before because they were kind of glowing green a little bit, and not only that is they had armor, and other ones just had maybe one weapon and that was it. Some of them had shield and a sword, several of them had bows with full armor, and we're like, okay, it might be more difficult. No, they shoot me once, I'm almost dead, I'm able to escape. And then my friend comes over, and he's like, alright, I'll check out these skeletons that you saw. One shot right in his head, and he just dies instantly. This is with full troll armor, which is the best armor we could get before metal, and we didn't have enough bronze to actually make full armor. So we stuck with the troll armor, which gives you a 25% extra sneaking bonus, which is nice. Because sneaking does actually give you extra damage if you're sneaking when you surprise the enemy with a dagger or a bow. So it's a handy thing to have, but it wasn't good enough. This armor apparently was not strong enough to withstand one shot from these skeletons. So after friend came back, grabbed his stuff. Oh, before he came back actually, there was a troll nearby. And trolls and skeletons are aggressive to each other. So there's some cool interactions with different creatures that don't actually like each other. There's also a blob there that I'd never seen before, so I can't really say anything about it. It was just in the swamp area. But anyway, we lure this troll over, and we're like, okay, this troll can do some damage, and maybe we can take him out then. No, sir. Troll comes over. He whacks the blob in the swamp, kills it in one hit. Okay, easy. Troll's OP. And then a couple skeletons shoot him. Took like 6 shots, and they killed the troll. He didn't even get to him. He just toppled over, and he's dead. And we're like, okay, if they can kill a troll in just a couple of hits, and it takes us like a good 20 shots or more, they're pretty slow, so they're not too hard to kill. You can keep on running back and then turning around and shooting. So, not too bad. And they each give you 5 troll leather, which usually makes about 1 piece of armor. So, It's not too hard to get the full set of armor. But these guys were like, the troll was no match for them. It was insane. So definitely staying away from them until we at least get full bronze armor, if not something better. I don't know what would be better right now, because haven't progressed that far. But yeah, if the second boss was that difficult defeating, where we all died at least once, yeah, I can't imagine what the next bosses are like. I think there's a total of 5 or 6, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems like you have to progress quite a bit before you can try to kill them. And each boss has its own abilities, and it's pretty cool. You have to try to learn its attacks and you know, try to obviously defeat it from what you know. So definitely worth buying if you are interested in that sort of game. Just survival building with your friends. Definitely grindy at some point, like if you need a bunch of wood to make a huge building or something, and you do have to chop quite a few trees. But that's probably the coolest thing in the game, is this skill system where you anything you do, you chop a tree, you mine some ore, you run around, you jump, everything has a level associated with it. So for instance, I've chopped, quite a few trees. I think the max level is 100. I've chopped quite a few trees now, and I think I've gotten to like 26 or something. My friend has chopped a lot. We're playing on his server, so he built the house and all that. So he's done a lot of wood cutting. I think his is around 45, 46. But like I said, max 100. So for instance, the higher level with wood cutting allows you to do more damage to trees, so you chop them faster. Pretty simple. With running, you get your running level up. You're able to run faster, which is extremely cool, and it takes less stamina to run. So amazing system. It feels so much fun every time you level up. It's a tiny increase, obviously, because it's a total of 100. But once I got my wife playing with this, and my run level was like 15, 20 levels higher than her, you could tell that I moved a lot quicker, especially with being able to run longer because of my stamina. So far I've unlocked, so every time you do something, you can unlock a new skill, something new. So like, you don't even know what your skills can be until, for instance, when I started mining, then all of a sudden I get a new mining skill. Or when I started swimming, all of a sudden I get a swimming skill. So at the start, you start out with no skills, so you kind of learn what they are, and then you just keep on increasing them. So far I haven't seen a sailing skill, which that's okay. I don't know what it would do. Like, if you're driving the boat, I guess you move quicker. I don't know. So I think that's fine that they don't have that. One really cool thing in the game is your health and stamina max. So your max health is 25. I don't know what the max stamina is. I don't know the number. But your max health is 25. So it's extremely low. But you have 3 food slots you can fill up with food. Well, you can eat, and it fills them up with food. And then they have a certain duration on it, depending on the food. I think it's usually 600 seconds. So, but you can't eat 3 of the same food. So for instance, I always have 3 different kinds of food. So I have some mushrooms, I have some berries, and I have some meat in my inventory. So then I can just keep on eating all 3 of those together. And they increase your max health and max stamina. So instead of having 25 health, I can get up to like 80 if I have all 3 of those going. And as they expire, you start to lose max health and max stamina. So it's a very cool system. I like it a lot, and it's crazy just how much went into this game while it's still in early access. Like, it feels like this game is finished. What more could they do? Well, I think they're just gonna add more content, more quests and stuff. Oh, that's one thing. We finally found a shop, because we had a bunch of rubies and a bunch of gold. Apparently the rubies are just valuable stuff, which makes sense. But we didn't know what to use them in. And I guess you can sell the rubies, maybe? But at least the gold in the shop, it has a value on each of his items. So we have over 1,000 gold now, which is actually quite a bit. We can buy any one of his items. I think one of them costs 900. So we could buy one item. I guess I've got that. He's got fishing poles for sale. Apparently that's the only way you can get fishing poles in the game, which I don't know why you can't craft them, but oh well, that's fine. I think they're like 250 or 300 a piece. So maybe we can get everybody a fishing pole soon. So that'd be pretty cool. More food that's very good as far as max health and stamina, because they like berries are pretty low on how much max health and stamina they give you. So something that gives you more would obviously be more valuable. So definitely something to go for. So I'm pretty excited for that. But other than that, I mean, I don't know too much more about the game. Let me think for just a hot second here, because I covered skills. The combat's pretty cool. It's pretty basic though. There's not a whole lot going on except you can attack. You can have a special attack depending on your weapon. They do different things. For instance, the dagger, you jump forward and like stab down with your dagger. The spear, you can throw a spear. The mace, you can get a powerful swing with the mace. You can get a hammer that smashes the ground. Different stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But yes, there's two different attacks. There's the basic attack and then the special attack. And then there's blocking, which if you have a one-handed weapon, you can have a shield, which is pretty basic as well. But the blocking in this game actually works. What I mean by that is if you block, it negates all the damage. Depending on how good your shield is, it will take more stamina. But if you're at 0 stamina, then you're not going to negate any damage. So it does consume stamina instead of your health, which is pretty neat. So if you have your stamina pretty high and you just block an attack, it takes, you know, a quarter or less of your stamina depending on how much damage they were going to do. And then there you go. There you have it. You just negated all the damage and you can just quickly attack. The other thing is if you're blocking, you can also roll. So you can just dodge attacks completely. I don't know what's better to dodge the attack because it uses stamina to roll as well. But I don't know. You can decide for yourself. I guess it depends on the situation. If they're going to do an absolute ton of damage, I guess it would be better to roll out of the way because then it would use more stamina than it would if you rolled. But I guess you can figure that out for yourself. But other than that, I think I pretty much covered everything, and this is going on forever. So my throat's gonna hurt, and I won't have anything else to talk about. Let's see. Anything else? Well, we can talk about a different game. Then I would say you should check it out first before buying it. I would say that with any game. And I will try to remember to leave a link in my description of my other video when I just started playing it, because I had no idea about it. So I kind of run around aimlessly for a while and try to build a house. It's a very poor looking house because I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, it's you should maybe just check out the video, skip through it a bit just to kind of get a general idea, or of course you can watch somebody else's video on it that does a little bit more editing than I do. Probably a lot more. But yeah, give it a go. I am going to finish out this run by myself just to see how long I can go, and maybe I will skip to the end so you guys can see as well. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.